I'm gonna hop in a Discord call and we're gonna go over a coaching session. So what we have scheduled is a first to 5 and a breakdown afterwards. So this is gonna be a bit, hopefully educational, to let you know how these things look like, how they work, and maybe a lot of the things that we end up talking about is something that would apply to you. I'm assuming so, because I do, with these coachings, I do end up running into a lot of the same stuff. So hopefully this is a bit educational. Your Wave XLR, I have no idea what that even is. But first of all, let me see if this even works.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother?
Well, we are, as you know, we are streaming this session. We are chilling. This is you're gonna get this coaching after losing about 100 MR, so definitely tip-top shape for coaching. But yeah, I just want to ask a few questions and really figure out what we should be focusing on.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I know you
can you hear me, by the way? Like, is the audio good?
Yeah, I can hear you. So we booked a first to 5 in here. Like, what is it that you're trying to get out of it?
Essentially, I guess 2 things. I need that, that I would say that top player experience, because I feel like playing ranked mode is definitely it's a good foundation to, build skill. But I feel like I need that. We're going to be competing in tournaments. Like, we're going to be going to LCQ. They're going to be just trying to, enter more tournaments. So I just feel like I need that experience versus a really good player. And like I said, I've been watching you since Street Fighter 4 back in the days. So I know you've always been one of my favorite players. And mainly, I think for me is defense. Defense has been something that I struggle with, and I guess just ways to, I would say, to play the neutral. I know Street Fighter 6 is definitely a little different from Street Fighter 5. I feel like it's a more aggressive game. So I feel like there are times where I really don't use Grab Impact as much as I should. Maybe I'm throw teching too much. So I don't know. That's what I said. I feel like by playing you can kind of identify kind of where I'm at. And you can kind of build on that going forward.
For sure. And obviously the goal is you want to compete. You actually want to compete at a high level. So this is something we want to get to that point. This is going to be a pretty straightforward process. I know you're playing Ryu right now, and we want to compete.
Oh yeah, I'm coming. Don't worry, I'm coming.
High level. So what we'll do, how this process is going to look like, I'm going to shoot you an invite. We'll play a set, and I'm not going to say much during the set, okay? We'll keep notes on the set itself, and after the set, we'll discuss things. We'll hop on training mode, and I just want to have a visual demonstration for what these points are going to look like. But the set's going to be primarily to get an idea of where we are, what is that we should truly focus on. But what's your tag?
So it's going to be NJB and then space Hokage.
NJB space Hokage.
Actually, no, NJB. I'll type it in Discord so you can see.
Yeah. All right, I sent you an invite, and I feel like during this, I could use Marissa, I could use other characters, but I feel like Ryu would probably be a better gauge, because with Marissa, there's a lot of knowledge checks that I feel wouldn't really give me much info on how we're approaching neutral. And with Ryu, there's you got to play more neutral. So
this is cool. Yeah, I'm not ready for the Marissa right now, respectfully. So yeah,
so we'll hop on.
Start like this. We can do this.
Okay, so this is a sweaty set, man. I want you to play as sweaty as possible. This is for MR.
All right. I'm about to channel the inner Daigo Umehara. Let's go.
Yes, bro. I need to see Daigo in here. And
let's get it.
Ooh.
Ooh, got it. I'll take it.
Yeah, you have a good pace to your neutral, you know? Like, you're not jumpy, you're not super buttonsy. You're a bit more patient, which is good. That's a good starting spot. Because I feel like there's not a lot of bad habits being displayed.
Ooh. I'll take it. That was risky, but I was like, fuck it, let me do it. Maybe stay a low forward there.
No, that was good. That was good. I mean, you're in a shit situation because at that point I could.
Right.
I mean, a DI would have beaten that, but you got to take a gamble.
Right. Ah, there it is. Okay. Right. Oh, no, with that. Yeah, nice. Oof, Jesus.
Ooh, I'm dead. Nice.
That's so cheesy, bro.
I mean, you gotta do it. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, hold on. No, let me show you why they call me Daigo. Young Daigo.
Oh, no.
That's so stupid. Oh, no, it's so early.
You weren't kidding about Daigo. Fuck, man. You should be coaching me. Holy shit. How you do
He
that?
said I should be coaching you, but... Oh, because it's nice.
Ooh.
Oh, good GG's. Yep.
Yep.
Serve GG's.
Young Daigo.
Young Daigo. Young Daigo. That's it. Oh, button and foot. That's not what I wanted. I'm gonna buy Hadouken.
Ooh.
Nice. That was so sick. Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't call it.
Yeah, you got it. Nice.
Ooh.
That was not good. Had to charge. Yep.
Have the charge. Yeah. Right there. It's tough navigating through fireballs, but like, again, kind of don't really need to take a gamble there.
Right. Oh, That was nasty. Ah, good
Unfortunate.
stuff. Good stuff. Okay.
So, I'll take a little pause here just to kind of go over a few things. So, if you notice what I'm doing, I notice that your crouching medium kick usage it's kind of automatic. Like if somebody walks into a certain range, like it's kind of a trigger for you that you press it. And we'll go over that a bit more in depth later as why that is and how to avoid it. What's that little mind game happening in neutral? Because once that's figured out, it's much easier. You know, if you figure out what your opponent is doing in neutral, how they're approaching it, it becomes way easier to beat them. And that's kind of what's happening here, right? Is I know that this range you like to do this, and I'm punishing that action. And I don't see an adaptation to counter that, right? So if I'm walking forward into this range and crouching medium kick becomes an option that you use, and I punish it, you know, how do you counter that? How do you counter me just looking for a crouching medium kick? You know, that's something that we'd get into more detail later. If you know I'm looking for that whiff, that means that I'm giving you space. That means you can walk forward and take that space. You know, walk forward and go for a low medium kick if I'm staying outside of the range. Or you can start throwing fireballs, force me to start, worry about the fireball, start trying to perfect parry the fireballs, and then that gives you time and space. Again, walk forward more, drive rush more. There's certain options, but again, we'll kind of go over those options in detail here after this.
Yeah, I noticed that you would punish it with sweep. Like every time you walk inside, I guess my effective poke range, blew it up every time. So I was like, oh shit. I kind of froze up. I didn't know what to do.
That's very common too. That's very common. Yeah. You shouldn't feel bad about that. Like that's something that most people kind of react to. It's like human nature almost. You know, you see somebody in that space and it's like a personal bubble, and you want to react with a button.
I got greedy. Jeez.
That was one round. Still got a round to go.
Jesus. Your footsies are crazy, bro. It's amazing. I like it.
So it's something we'll go over, like this minigame, man. Like it's the rock, paper, scissors. What's happening in neutral.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, it's happening. It's either you're aware of it or not. You know, if you know how to play neutral, this rock paper scissors is happening. But you're picking your options accordingly, and your opponent, if they don't know or if you don't know, you're picking paper the entire time, and you're wondering why it's not working. It's this little mini game that's involved in neutral. like walking, space control, like how to control space at a certain range. What are their options? How to counter their options? Oh my, Ryu sucks. Ryu sucks. Ryu fucking sucks.
Oh my god.
Nah, this character sucks.
He said this character sucks. That's funny. Oh man. Oh, you're an animal. I respect it.
I mean, I was just buffering. If I saw literally any flinch.
Right. Oh, I know it.
Alright, that was definitely not worth it.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Okay, well, let's hop in training mode.
This is
Let's hop in
crazy.
training
Alright,
mode
cool.
and
Yeah.
we can discuss what happened. We can discuss.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, 'cause
Okay, so this is gonna be a crash course on Footsies and
Alright.
what the concept of Footsies are, right? Essentially, before we even get to the point of like Footsies, right?
Yeah.
Like there has to be a game plan that you have in mind when you start up a game. It can't just be like, I don't know, I'm just gonna fuck up my opponent. No, I'm just gonna land my combos. Okay, so how, right? How? What's the method? How are you gonna do it? I'm just gonna, just press the button. Like there has to be more concrete plan when you hop into these games. Now, with most characters, the game plan is fairly simple. It's just get your opponent in the corner, right? That's kind of most characters thrive when they corner the opponent. And obviously, in the corner, your options are limited as the opponent, and you know it's very oppressive, especially in this game. There's too many things to fucking look out for. There's throw loops, there's DI, you just die in the corner.
yeah, the mental side, right? Yeah.
So in order to really get to that point, again, corner. So how do we get there? That's all said and done, but you know, how do we get from point A to point B? In the perfect world, I'd just walk forward and you walk back and you get yourself to the corner, right? Like in the perfect world, this is what happened. But obviously that's not the case. What happens is there's a lot of shit happening in this range, right? Your opponent is gonna fight for space. They will fight for the real estate here.
Right.
Like this range right here will be contested. So how do we deal with this? You'll notice most people freak the fuck out in footsie range. Most people just melt in footsie range. They have no idea how to play this range right here. They'll try to either jump over it because it's fucking scary, you know, drive rush, or you'll see this like even in master, bro, like you'll see every JP like 1800 MR, they're just doing this shit because they don't know how to play this range, bro. They don't know how to play this range. This range is scary. So what are the options here? You know, if we actually become familiar with the options in this range, we can become comfortable and we can actually master this space and start, you know, playing some neutral, start forcing mistakes. So obviously this right here is a huge deterrent to playing in this range, right? It's just getting clipped with buttons, getting clipped with especially crouching medium kicks because they stop you from moving. Okay, so we know that this button stops forward momentum, it stops movement. How do we deal with that? We get into one aspect of footsies, which is whiff punishing, where you can walk to a certain range that you feel will trigger a response from your opponent. Because again, this is natural reaction, right? If you see somebody walking forward, you kind of want to press. So you're messing with that. You're using that to your advantage. You'll walk forward and then walk back, like right outside of range of these pokes, and see if that triggers a response from your opponent. Now, you'll see this a lot in high level. You'll see players do this a lot, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially what's happening. They're kind of judging, spacing, and trying to see who bites, see who commits first, right? Now, this isn't without counter. If you're doing this, that means your opponent can just walk forward, right? You're not committing to a move here. You're kind of trying to bait your opponent. So a good counter to that is I'm just gonna walk forward and clip you, right?
Right.
If you're trying to stay
block low when you're
outside,
focused.
yeah, if you're trying to stay outside of button range, you're staying like kind of right outside of it, so you could actually whiff punish it. I'm not gonna do beta button from back here, right? I'm not gonna fucking be able to punish it. I'm gonna do it from like right here. So if I'm trying to stay right outside of that range, it straight up loses to you walking forward and clipping. Like you'll lose to this, right? If you know your opponent is just sitting back here trying to whiff punish, 100% they'll lose to this. Now, what beats this option, walking forward into button? It's just a straight up fucking button, right? This is rock, paper, scissors. This is one aspect of rock, paper, scissors in neutral, where button beats walk back beats button, walk forward button beats walk back button, or walk back, right?
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
It
like
does.
This one aspect of it.
It does make sense.
So if I was back here trying to whiff punish, you kept trying to go for, again, maybe we weren't familiar with what the mini game that was happening. Like I saw that buttons were coming out, so I would just kind of chill here and just wait for the buttons, and the buttons would come. So your counter to that would have been to walk forward.
Walk forward. Okay.
So that would have been your counter to that.
Yeah.
Now that's again one instance of this mini game. There are obviously those aren't the only options that we have, right? Fireball, if your character has a fireball, is another aspect of it. So it adds another layer. Jumping adds a layer. Drive rush adds a layer. Like there are multiple forms of taking up space in this game. But that's kind of like the simplest one. Now, while we're doing this, let's say I'm in this mode and I'm baiting a whiff from you, and I'm in this range trying to play it safe. You should be able to beat jumps, and you should be able to beat drive rushes while you're doing this. While you're doing this, you should be able to anti-air while still being able to whiff punish if a whiff button comes out. This is ideal, right? This is ideal, and this is something that will take practice. I do have a training mode routine that is out on YouTube.
Absolutely.
I absolutely recommend it. This routine that's literally what you do. You just record a dummy doing certain actions, right? Like a little shimmy into jump button, a little shimmy into drive rush, or a little shimmy into button. So
the drill sessions, yeah.
So this drill session, So this has to be drilled in practice. Like you should feel comfortable in answering these scenarios. If you can just answer, like if you can do these things, if you can anti-air and whiff punish while being in this range, and not lose to drive rush, you'll instantly beat 99% of the players in your MR. Like just having mastery over that drill session will put you up in 1900 MR easily.
Nice. Okay.
Why? Because most players you encounter will just give you mistakes. You don't have to force mistakes from them, right?
Right.
There's no additional layers to this. It's mostly they're here. They're freaking the fuck out because you're right there, nothing's happening, and then they'll just press a button. They'll jump, like DI. Like it just comes out of panic. Like something's gonna happen here, right? So if you can just chill in this range and just let the opponent play and be able to counter it, like you'll already beat the vast majority of players. But this is more of like, okay, then what? Obviously there's more layers to this, and then what? What do we do afterwards? Because this isn't just the entire game. There's way more to it. There's a lot more factors that come in it. There's having good offense, knowing your options on defense. Like all these things do tie in, because you could be excellent at doing this, but if your defense sucks, or if you're super predictable on defense, or if you have like no offense, you're super predictable on offense, you'll get punished hard. So those, again, different layers, but this is more of building a foundation, man. At least having this mini game down, understanding the concept of this. Now, if we go back to like the primary goal is corner, then that makes it a lot easier to follow, because if your opponent gives you space, we take the space, right? We want to maintain the space. If they walk back because they're really uncomfortable, we take the space. We walk forward. We threaten here, right? And that's kind of what was happening in our set. If you notice, like, you would kind of just end up in the corner, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, you kind of had like this presence. I'm like, damn, like I didn't know how to, like you're just approaching me and like you're just kind of walking me down, and then like I started to panic, and then my panic button is this, and then there you go. Yeah, so that's exactly what was happening. So I didn't know the counterplay to that. So now you tell me, walk forward and kind of base myself, watch out for the punishing.
Yeah, so having mastery in, again, like, it's just understanding this range, man, and not being scared of it. If you're not, that comfort will seep in once, again, you train this enough and you're able to actually visualize the spacing and know, okay, I'm safe here, I can walk here, I'm fine. If you see somebody walking forward, then that's, they're forcing that mini game on you. Like, do I press? Okay, if I press, but they do this, they walk forward, they walk back, they get a whiff punish there, and fuck, now it's time to gas. So, but at least understanding this mini game, right? Any questions so far? Because I don't want this to be just a full, like, info dump.
That's literally, like, it's funny because you said that, yeah, just have that little sequence of walking forward, and trying to essentially control the space and while pressure at the same time. I think that definitely helped me out a lot. Yeah, it was happening a lot. Like, I would just end up here, because we were just pretty much dominating me in neutral. I would say corner play. How about that? I think that's another aspect of it.
Yeah, so what do we do? Yeah, what do we do if we actually get somebody in the corner? Like, let's say we're just shitting on the opponent here, or we play Ken and land one of these, and we get the opponent in the corner. Then what? Then what happened, right? Because, like, here in the corner, it's very easy to just fucking throw the round away. And I see this often. You have your opponent in the corner, and then people just keep going ham. They keep fucking just full ass aggression. And then the opponent they just hold up forward and
they just jump out. Yeah, that's the shit that pisses me off. I hate that, bro.
So we have the opponent in the corner. So why the fuck do we even want him in the corner in the first place? That's a question we gotta ask ourselves. Like, what does a corner even give us? And then we look at it, it's like, okay, well, they can't move back. They cannot move back. I can move back, right? You, as the person putting your opponent in the corner, you can move back. You have full freedom of range here. You can walk in, walk out, and they cannot. They can only move forward, meaning that you can walk up and pressure with buttons without the risk of having them whiff, without the risk of getting whiff punished. They have to hold that shit. That's a primary reason why corner is very advantageous. Okay. I mean, Street Fighter 6 made it crazier with DI. DI's getting wall splats is fucking insane. What this means, man, is your opponent has to constantly be aware of DI as an option. They have to keep that in the back of their mind, or they have to actually look for it. Now, if we use the term mental stack a bit ago, this is kind of a way to demonstrate what people are referring to as mental stack. Like, this mental stack means you're prioritizing certain things, right? Like, when we're playing a fighting game, it's impossible to react to everything all at once. We can't focus on everything all at once. We pick and choose what we focus on. If we're, like, for example, footsie range, we pick, like, I want to look for buttons at this range, or my opponent is playing DJ, so I want to look for drive rush and still get counter. Yeah, whatever, right? Like, we're prioritizing what we're looking for, and it's not getting tunnel vision. You're not just looking for that option. You're looking for that option while also acknowledging other options. So, like, I am looking for a whiff punish, but if you jump, I'm in range where you can jump and I can anti-air. Like, I know that, but I'm not looking specifically for the jump. It's just I'm aware of the possibility of the jump, and I'm aware of what I'd have to do to actually anti-air. Same concept, right? Like, because those things are occupying my mind, anything else is gonna be more difficult to react to, or is gonna have, like, delayed reactions to them. So if you're looking for those things and somebody drive rushes at you, it's a lot harder to react to that, because, again, you're not looking for the drive rush, right? And that's a reason why drive rush, like drive rush jab, like drive rush to fast button gets a lot of people, like, gets counter hits a lot, because people flinch to drive rush. Like, oh shit, I mean, you're not looking for it, and you press a button, it's already too late, you're getting comboed. So this concept of mental stack, like understanding what you want to prioritize, this in the corner gets fucking insane, because now you have to prioritize DI. If your opponent's in the corner, they have to prioritize DI. They have to.
Right.
They're not looking for whiffs. No, you have to prioritize DI. If you disrespect DI, the moment you disrespect DI, and by not looking for it is when you fucking get DI'd. That happens this all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still important to represent this option, but like your opponent has to respect it. If they're respecting it, that means that everything else is game, man. They're not looking for, you know, you walking up into button, doing this, you know, fireballs, whatever the case is. They're not really focused on that. They're just looking for the DI. So we gotta abuse that. We gotta abuse the fact that DI is present in their mind. You don't have to take huge gambles when you're doing that. I think your primary goal when you have somebody in the corner is just maintaining them there, keeping them there. The longer your opponent's in the corner, the more likely you are to win, because the more likely they are to commit a mistake. You don't have to do shit. The onus is on them to escape. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit here at a range where if they jump, your anti-air will keep them in the corner. They can't cross you up. Like in this range, this is very powerful. This is very powerful. You know, like what can they do here? And it's very easy to bait buttons because again, they can't walk back. Like it's a certain range they have to stay at. And throughout this, they have to also keep DI in mind. It's very tough. It's a rough spot. They have to escape. So as long as you just you're ready for the escape options, the likelihood of you winning the round is very, very high. This is where games are made or broken, honestly, is how well your corner control is. Like being able to cage your opponent in there and whittle down their drive gauge, you know, because again, they can't walk back out of range. So you can walk forward and harass their drive meter with buttons. They have to get out or they're going to get burnt out and they're going to die. So just being ready for that escape, being able to anti-air the jump, or you know, if they want to, a common escape route for players is just to do like button drive rush and try to go for a back throw. You know, if you happen to force the whiff on that button and whiff punish it into combo, and now they're still in the corner, you get throw loops. Like it can snowball really fucking quick. But this is crucial in keeping corner, man. Your whole goal here is cage. Don't let them escape. Don't fucking let them escape. Yep.
And how about like, are you like face traps, throw loops? Is that like a thing too, depending on the character you're playing, or just the ideal was still to keep them in the?
Depending on the character. I mean, space trap. I mean, we can consider this a space trap, right?
Yeah.
Because if you press crouching medium kick at this range, like it whiffs. You know? If you try to, like this shit whiffs, right?
Yeah.
So this can be considered a spacing trap. Like you press it, you're ready for the counter, and if you get a hit, obviously you can start your offense. Throw loops. Is that made? I know I kind of went off on a few tangents there, but does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. I think everything definitely makes sense. Definitely the main one was just neutral, that rock paper scissors thing that was going on. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that was a really big thing that helped me out. Just helped me understand it. Like you said, most players don't really understand how to play neutral. Like you said, they kind of just, you know, they just do their thing. You know, not really looking out for the mind game like the rock paper scissors. So I think that really helped me out. But yeah, pretty much fucking myself. So like you said, that fear too of just walking forward. I think that's another thing too that I struggle with. I'm pretty sure a lot of viewers are watching this too. They get scared because they don't want to get clipped. I think, like you said, if you see your opponent just kind of doing this, they're not really doing anything. Then yeah, like you said, just take the stream back. You know.
Yeah.
No, one last thing too, Strider. Mm-hmm. So when you're taking the stream back, right? I noticed you walk up and you cross block. Mm-hmm. Explain that part to me too.
So I'll do that if I am if I'm unsure of whether or not you'll walk forward into low, right?
Okay.
Because at this range, I'm safe from your crouching medium kick, but I'm not sure if you'll walk forward into crouching medium kick. This is kind of to gauge your reaction, just to see how do you react to this, right? Like, do you meet, like, some people are gorillas. If they see somebody walk forward, they'll also fucking walk forward. They just want to brawl. They want to brawl. Some people walk forward. They see walk forward instead of walk back or like press up. No, they fucking walk forward into a button. Like they want blood, man. They chose violence. So I don't know if I don't know how my opponent's gonna react to this. Like I'd rather play it safe and just see like how are they reacting to this, just to gauge it. A big part of this, what I want a key takeaway to be is keep in mind what your opponent wants to do. Like don't focus too much on what you want to do. Fuck what you want to do, man. Like that's simple. You already know that. What the fuck does your opponent want to do? If we don't know that, if we don't have that figured out, you're shooting in the dark. Like this shit becomes way more random than it has to be. You have to figure out what do they want to do, and you can take there's a lot of cues that they give you that'll really communicate what their intent is. Like for example, if somebody's just back here, obviously you just want to whiff punish me, right?
Yeah.
If somebody is, doing a lot of this and this. Like, obviously, these guys aren't even looking at the screen. They're just pressing buttons. Like, I just need to chill and play more reactive and just let them kill themselves. So just keep in mind what your opponent wants to do. And while you're playing, your focus should be on your opponent. Your character doesn't exist. Okay, this is something I should have started off with, but I feel like it's something very simple, yet it's not really fully understood. Your character only exists via peripherals. You're almost never looking at your character.
Wow,
it's only your opponent's character model. Okay?
That's crazy.
Your character only peripherals, man. The only time you'll kind of get a gauge for. Like, the only times your eyesight will break from your character are during certain breaks or animations where you're looking at meter overall, like you're looking at drive gauge or you're looking at super meter, or when closing the gap, like when playing a bit closer, you'll shift your eyes from the opponent's character model to the ground in between you guys, just to have a better idea of the spacing, and then you'll go back to the opponent's character model. This is crucial. Without having like proper eye placement, all this shit becomes like infinitely harder. So that's gonna feel, if that's not where your eyes are located most of the time, this is gonna feel awkward. But you should be practicing that, just staring at your opponent's character model. Then your character only exists via peripherals. I mean, it makes sense.
Usually when I play Footsies, I'm usually looking at my character, so like I try to gauge the range where I can land, whatever. But then like now that you said it like that, it makes totally sense now. But it's like I gotta kind of rewire my thinking.
Yeah, if you're looking at your character model, like you don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You're trusting your peripherals to figure out what I'm doing. Anti-airing becomes infinitely harder. Whiff punishing becomes infinitely harder. Like a bunch of shit, because you're just using your peripherals. Like
that's crazy.
Yeah, this is, your eyes should be on your opponent's character model the vast majority of the time. Just practice that. Practice that training mode routine. Promise that you'll see improvement from that.
All right, man. That was sick. Definitely gonna be taking notes on that. So.
For sure. Any questions so far?
So far, not really. I think that was definitely explained a lot. That was kind of the main thing that I really struggled with, just mainly like that mindset and neutral. Yeah, sometimes I just get confused, don't know what to do.
Nice.
Or don't like have a game plan. I guess a game plan. I don't have a game plan.
Nice.
So we'll definitely cleared it up.
We'll work on those things, man. Just one step at a time. I think with what we kind of laid out, I'll give you a bit, something to look forward to, something to work on. But yeah, man, I appreciate you having the stones to have this done on stream. I appreciate that.
Oh no, man, appreciate you. Hey, man, like I said, I'm coming. I'm coming. So we're gonna get there. But,
believe it, man.
Absolutely.
I've already seen the best reviews pop in here out of nowhere. Like, you could be the next vinegar lover. Who knows? That could be you. Gotta
Sounds
believe.
Good. I'll take it.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate you, man. I'll be around, man.
All right, sounds good. Hit me up for any questions, man.
Will do.
All right, peace out.
Peace.
I asked him if, hey, are you down to do this live? He's like, fuck yeah, let's do it. I hope that was informative. I hope that was educational. Essentially got a coaching session. Neutral jump spammers? Fuck, the worst, bro. Almost as bad as those dirty ass block spammers. Those dudes out there fucking blocking. Like, who the hell paid $70 USD to block?